you join me on episode 4 on the bobber build. Yeah, it's been good. So for today, what the plan is that we're going to pull this motor out and we're going to start pulling the top end off at the very least, just so we can start to get an idea of how we're going to go about trying to merge a 350 barrel onto the 125. Like I said, people think it's a nuts idea, and it probably is, but it is doable. Really lucky I've got people around me that know a lot more than what I do, and people are going to be able to help me with some machining work and some welding on the casings potentially. And yeah, so the idea for today is to pull this, start to work out whether it can work or not. So basically, as it stands now, there's not much difference in the stud pattern for the 350. The thing that I won't know really until we dig deeper into it is, with the cam being in the side casings, with this being a 125 based on the CG 125, it's obviously a pushrod engine. I don't know whether the location of the cam is going to be in the same place for the 350 to the 125. Really, we'll just have to pull it. We'll have to pull it and have a look. I did buy a 350 gasket, so at least we've got I haven't got a barrel yet, so at least we've got an idea of whether it's going to work, because I don't really want to go ahead trying to do it if obviously the offset on the cam sprocket is different to the sprocket that's on the, I'm assuming, what is the sprocket on the crank. Yeah, so we will pull it. We'll pull it, start having a look. Tell you what, whoever made them types of fucking screw heads on that, it's stupid. Let's get the old carb out. Put the screws back. Otherwise we will lose them, that is for sure. Right, let's get these bolts out of this engine. This should come out, to be fair, I've had this out already, so it's only just held in on the back engine bolts. One out, and the other one. Right, let's start getting the old lifters off. We got a pot to put shit in, because I'm a fucker for losing stuff. I mean, I assume, I don't know, I mean, do you have to change these? Well, that came off easier than I thought. So yes, it's just like I said earlier, like as long as the distance between the new cylinder is the same for the location of the cam, then in theory, I believe it should be right. Let's remove the bottom gasket, ideally without breaking it. So, like I said earlier, so I think first way to kind of see whether it's going to work or not is that's the 350 gasket. That's obviously the one that's come off. That's the 125 gasket. If the measurements from the middle of the gasket to where the camshaft sits is the same, then I think we're on to a winner. So let's have a look. Front one is the 125. The rear one is the 350. They're the same. That's the same. Do you know what I mean? It's not a million miles away. I think it's going to work. Well, the investigation continues, man. Right, so original 125. Them at the back, them on the side of the cylinder, they're the same. It does look as if the distance is the same. The back two fit. So that obviously goes that way. So I've got that the wrong way around. So it goes that way because, well, what I'm assuming is because we've got a cutout on this gasket here. We've also got a cutout on this gasket, and there is what I assume is a oil channel in the cylinder at the back. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said loads of times, we know it's not going to be easy. I do think it's going to work though. I think it's going to work. I think we need to work out. We need to get the piston off, get the studs out. So we are back on episode 4. For those of you that are watching this now, I'm finishing off filming this episode in December. Probably started this episode back end of October. Obviously, we're continuing off the episode with stripping down the engine. I had problem trying to get the stator plate off. Obviously, the stator plate has a sprag clutch on the back of it as well. Yeah, I just couldn't seem to find a threaded puller. So I ended up managing to get it off. And I got it off basically with brute force. I didn't really want to do it that way, but I heated up the middle. I was able to just slowly get around the back and it popped off. But we're making progress. I would never have been able to do this without the awesome couple from November Customs. They have offered to help me. They're going to help me with all the machining to put the new studs in, obviously weld up the old ones, move the location of the oil channel for the 350, and to obviously machine out to allow the 350 to go in. So I'm extremely, extremely grateful and, you know, appreciate it. Right, so let's carry on stripping this down. So I had to spray these bottom bolts here, as they seem a bit tight in the side casings, and obviously don't really want to be snapping them. I guess that the bottom ones are tight because of potentially all the muck that's coming up off the road. I don't know. So the fun continues. Got 3 bolts that do not want to give up. I've just noticed you can see through the casing to where the thread is, so let's spray them. Right, so we're still having problems with getting these bolts out. So far, we have snapped 2 of the fuckers. Luckily that there is a bit of thread. You know, so you can see that I've got a tiny bit of thread there that I'm going to be able to actually get on. So yeah, 4 bolts out of all of them are playing hard to get. They happen to be the ones that are on the bottom of the engine and at the front, which, to be fair, makes sense. So I noticed that the threads on the other side of the casing are actually open. So obviously muck can get in them. The downside with them being Chinese is they are cheap bolts. I think we'll get this. I think we'll get this one. I think. I think this one's gonna snap. It's fucking snapped. Yeah, it finally gave up. And it's fucking snapped inside as well. So the one that we thought was gonna come out has snapped. As long as we can get one of them. What are we thinking? Oh yeah. So let's take out the rest of them. Look at the shit that's come out of there, look. So there's what? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bolts. 10. 3 have snapped. So it's not too bad, I suppose. And out of them 3 that have snapped, only one of them's flush. So I'm hoping that the other 2 will be able to get a set of mollies on, get some heat on the actual screw, you know, and yeah, and actually get it out. Obviously, the last thing I want to do is like the gearbox. It's like a cassette in it, so I don't really want to disturb anything whilst it's coming apart. Do you know what I mean? Let's go. So that just dropped down. When I took the pin out the side of the cylinder, what holds the rockers in the cylinder, these dropped down. So I knew these were in here. Because I knew I was splitting it. Obviously, it wasn't a big deal. Oh, fuck it. Yeah, so that is finally the end of this episode. Like I said earlier, it's taken ages. It's obviously going to be quite a fairly long episode. I think the first section that I did like 6 weeks ago, I've roughly finished editing it, and that's already like 10 minutes. This is probably going to be near on a 20-minute episode, but I'm going to be completely and utterly honest. As you guys saw there, the gearbox came apart. I think it's great that I've managed to film it. I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to like slow motion and pause and work out where the selectors all go and everything. And I hope I've got enough evidence and photos. I don't think I took photos before I pulled it apart, but hopefully we can work out, and the power of YouTube and the power of Google and everything, and we'll obviously be able to work out how this gearbox goes back together. Like, this episode is so long. This is the most daunting part for me. Taking apart this engine, my biggest fear has ended up happening of the gearbox literally, as I tried to remove it, fucking fell apart. I've seen people put these gearboxes back together on YouTube. They're able to hold the fucking thing together in one piece, and it just literally just goes back together. So have I taken it apart wrong? Have I done something wrong? Probably. Thinking about it now, I probably should have taken the bolt out for what I guess operates the arms, and then I probably would have been able to pull it all out. But then also it's got the bit for the kickstart on it, which seemed to, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I have made it really clear for a very long time that you are not watching any of these videos on how to. You are watching me try not to fuck up and learn how to do it, and to hopefully inspire other people that have never pulled an engine apart. I have never split an engine in two. I've never taken a gearbox out. So this is all learning. And the main reason obviously we wanted to split the engine is because obviously we've got to do all the machining on here. This has all got to be opened up to take the new cylinder. Obviously, stud holes need welding back up to relocate the studs. Also, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with the oil filter system on it, because we're running an oil cooler anyway. So I'm going to have a look into whether we actually could potentially do away with this and actually have two independent lines coming out and everything. But that's all part of it, right? It's all part of the fun and learning. I'm looking forward to getting up to November Customs to get all the machine work done and the welding. I'm still got to work out whether we can actually lose the balance shaft, because we're going to be running obviously a full circle race crank, because they do them other side of the world, but we can get one. So, and obviously being that the 350 barrel is a longer stroke, I'm hoping that we can actually get a hybrid. Yeah, so a hybrid being, is it a different bottom end to the Conrod? Do you know what I mean? Luckily enough, I found that there's a big community of 350 CG based platforms in Ecuador. Luckily for me, I speak Spanish, so I'm able to communicate with these guys. So there's a massive community in Malaysia and Brazil. I don't speak Portuguese, and obviously I don't speak the language out of Malaysia. So I found a big, and it's a big community, to be fair, in Ecuador. And these guys over in Ecuador, they're not hanging about. Like, they're getting some crazy power out of these. I saw a video where one guy did a quarter mile he reached like 190 kilometers an hour, which obviously is not record breaking speeds, but like, you know, that's just in a quarter mile. So obviously I'm not going to be geared for a quarter mile. Obviously mine's going to be, yeah, we're just going to have fun. So I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.